Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Double R's Kitchen. Today we're making hot dog buns. I've made this recipe before, and it's a really good recipe, and it's simple, and the hot dog buns come out so soft. That's my favorite part about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. What are our ingredients today? I'm actually using some rapid rise yeast today. I have some flour, I got salt, I have some sugar, some oil, I have some milk that I've heated up to 104 degrees, and I also have some water that I heated up to 104 degrees. So the first thing it says to do is to mix your flour and your salt, which I've already gone ahead and done. Then the next thing the directions say is to mix your milk, water, sugar, and yeast. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to set this to the side, and I'm going to wait for the yeast to rise. If your yeast doesn't rise, then that means that you need to do this step over again because your yeast should blow up. All right, so my yeast is puffed up, so let's show you guys this. Look at my yeast. The next step is I have an egg. I forgot to tell you guys, you need one egg, and it needs to be whisked. So I'm going ahead and stir my egg. I'm going to put this yeast mixture in here. I'm going to add my egg. And I'm going to go ahead and attach my my dough hook. We're going to mix this for 4 to 5 minutes. All right, y'all. So the dough is done. I've gone ahead and I've greased my bowl, so make sure you do that. Grease your bowl with some oil. And here's what our dough looks like. So I'll go ahead and cover this. I'm going to put it in my oven. My oven's not on, it's just a dry place. And I will see you guys in 1 hour. Guys, it's been an hour. Let's take a look at our dough. Our dough is definitely puffed up. So let's go ahead and take this out. Is we need to make this dough separate into 10 equal parts. So I'm actually going to cut this dough in half. And I'm going to take my scale here. I put some parchment paper on my scale because I don't want the dough to stick to the scale. And each one of these 10 equal parts needs to weigh 105 grams. So I'm going to take this, roll this into a ball. I'm going to put this off to the side. And I need to do this 9 more times. All right, so I've ended up with 9 of them. I didn't quite get 10, but I got 9. So now I just need to roll them into balls to make them look correct. They kind of look a little rough. So we just want to perfect them. Roll them into balls. And I'm going to do that for all of them. All right, so look at them. They look good. So the next part, the next thing that we need to do is the fun begins. We're going to take one, right? And I'm going to roll this out. When we're making our hot dog bun, what we want to do is we want to, let me move this camera so you guys can see. We want to fold in, right? And once you fold in, you want to take the edge and you just want to put a little crease in there with your fingers. And every time you roll it, you put a crease in there with your fingers. And you just repeat that process. You want to pinch all of this part together. And it's not going to look like anything. And then after you do that, that's when you start the rolling process. You want to pinch the sides. Tuck them under if you like. But you want to roll this out. And you want this to be 6 inches. So lucky for me, I have this mat. So I can put this up to my mat. And off top right here, it says 6 inches. So we're good. Also, the part that you pinch together, you want that as the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to put it in my pan. And as I place these in the pan, I'm going to put them about 1 centimeter away from each other.
6 inches.
All right, so I'm all done. So these are going to go into the oven for an hour. So after an hour, here's what we're looking like. And the next thing that we need to do is our egg wash. So I will brush the tops of these. This will go in the oven for 18 minutes at 350 degrees. Handle your oven accordingly. All right, it's that time, y'all. So let's see what we're looking like. That look good. Look at that. And that's homemade. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut one. I made me a hot link, and I'm gonna do a taste test for you guys. All right, y'all, we're all done. I just wanted to show you guys what this looks like. This is homemade. I made that, and it was very easy. And of course, I got my hot link together. Now, y'all see them jalapenos on there. You guys know in a previous video I made cowboy candy, so I decided to put some ketchup, mustard, and my cowboy candy on here. So let's go ahead and give this a taste. The bread is so soft. Really good recipe. But before I devour this, I want to give y'all a word. I want to give you guys a biblical story, and then I want to give you a personal story. So, the message that I want to give you guys today is don't let your ego trick you out of your position. In the Bible, King David, after he becomes king and he's ruler and everything is going his way, he decides that he wants to take a census of all the Israelite soldiers or people that he has. And that in itself is prideful. So he tells one of his commanders, he says, hey, I want you to go take a census of all of the people in different tribes. And his commander is like, why are you doing that? Are you sure you want to do that? You know, because God wins all of our battles for us. It wouldn't matter how many people we got. And he was like, hey man, listen to, and I'm paraphrasing. It says, hey man, go do what I told you to do. So his commander goes and he takes a census of all these people, and then he reports back to David the amount of people that are there. But then David feels convicted because he's like, oh man, I messed up. Like I let pride get in the way. And so a prophet comes to David and he basically tells David, he says, hey, you got some choices to make, brother. There's 3 choices that you can make of a punishment. And so David picks the lesser of the punishment, and he also knows that, you know, God is a forgiving God. So people die, but it's because of pride. So personal story. Me. Back in 2006 to 2009, I was a very prideful person. My ego was through the roof. I was a really ugly person. And when your ego is ugly and your personality becomes ugly and you and yourself become ugly, you pay a price for that. You know, we serve a God who wants us to be humble. And so you need to be humble. And if you're not humble, He's going to make you learn, just like He made me learn. So I had to lose everything to get to a place where I became humble and appreciative of everything that I had. So I'm not saying anybody out there has a big ego, but check that. Because if you're running around here feeling yourself and you putting yourself up here, you will be brought down here. So that's just some words of wisdom that I wanted to give you guys. Be humble with everything that you do and be thankful for everything that you have. But on another note, I hope you enjoyed this video today. Like always, be blessed, take care, and don't forget to say your prayers, and I'll see y'all next time.